So recently 5G launched in India and the results, well of course because I've tested it, were both mind-boggling and thought-provoking. While you get great speeds on 5G networks, it is not very consistent and some 5G smartphones still are unable to receive 5G. So here is a detailed video on 5G in India and why some smartphones require a software update in order to access 5G in India. Without wasting any more time, let's get into it. So let's start with what is 5G. 5G stands for 5th generation in mobile networks and is a successor to 4G. It uses millimeter wave technology in order to transmit high-speed data even with low latency. In Bangalore, when I tested it out, I had speeds ranging from 500 to 600 Mbps, although 5G usually provides speeds ranging from 300 to 1 Gbps, which is crazy. Well, this testing did come with a few drawbacks. Firstly, the fact that I got kicked out of Airtel Center, which is pretty sad actually. And secondly, the fact that this speed was not consistent at all. As I went away from the 5G tower, even by let's say a few 50 meters, I lost speeds drastically. One of the speed tests gave me a result of 20 Mbps. And at the same time, it consumes a lot of data. I blew up almost 4.5 GB of my daily mobile data on this speed test. I ran about 5 to 6 speed tests and in about 10 minutes I had blown up all my daily data. So does that mean that 5G consumes a lot of data? No, it's actually based on your usage. The max speeds it can provide is that level, but your daily usage will require much lower speeds. So data consumption is higher than before but not that high. So how can a person access 5G in India? In India, at the moment at least, all you need is a 5G smartphone with 5G software in it. Apart from that, the tariffs are the same as your 4G plan and you can continue using your 4G SIM for the time being in order to access 5G. Although 5G has been launched in 8 cities in India, that does not mean that it is present throughout the cities. It is present only in certain key areas of the city, which are like, tech parks or are extremely crowded as well. So it can take maybe 2 to 4 or even more number of months or maybe a few years in order for 5G to become more mainstream throughout these cities and to get the best signal strength. So one more problem that arises due to 5G is the fact that because it uses millimeter wave technology, the range over which we can get 5G reduces drastically. Although we get up to 30 times faster speeds than 4G, the distance to which a 5G band wave can actually travel is very less, due to which more number of towers need to be set up in order to provide constant speeds and a constant 5G connection. So the speeds, like I mentioned earlier, ranged from about 500 to 600 Mbps when I was very close to the tower, and that is much faster than what most people have at home on their personal broadband as well, which is crazy. 5G will enable us in order to have 4K video streaming or maybe even video calls in the future, and will bring great changes to AR as well. It will change the way how people connect with each other in everyday life. So now coming to 5G software, why do some smartphones like the new iPhones or some Android smartphones require a special software update in order to access 5G in India? The reason is pretty simple but does require some theory explanation. So if you really want to know exactly why you need it, listen up. 5G in India can be classified into 3 different classifications: low band, mid band and high band, and this is based on their frequencies. The low band frequencies are between 600 MHz to 2500 MHz. The mid band frequency is around 3300 MHz, and high band frequencies are also supported and are known as basically millimeter waves. The tower bands provide moderate speeds with higher and more reliable coverage, while millimeter wave bands provide the highest speeds at the cost of short coverage distance, like I mentioned earlier. Since the frequency bands were not available earlier, therefore OEMs have to actually enable and optimize the RF with the help of a software update. OEMs and operators are also testing the devices and will push out the update in the coming weeks most probably. So although 5G is launched in India, it is still not completely accessible and will take a few months to be more widespread and mainstream in these launch cities. Anyways, that's been it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'll leave links for both those accounts in the video description. Thanks for watching. This is Techsavage, and I'll see you guys in the next one.